Hey guys, Alex HD here, and today I'm here with another video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be comparing two legendary auto rifles, the BrayTech Werewolf and the Gnawing Hunger. Now, I know I haven't been posting videos for the last 3 weeks, and that's why I'm posting one now. And if you really want to know why I haven't been posting videos for the past 3 weeks, is while I've been prepping for Beyond Light by just getting previous exotics I don't have without being sunsetted, or and farming out bounties and stuff. So you get the gist. Anyway, moving on to the stats of these two weapons. Starting with the BrayTech Werewolf, and I don't even know what I just said right there. The BrayTech Werewolf has 29 impact, 72 range, 63 stability, 45 handling, 61 reload speed, 450 rounds per minute, and a magazine size of 34. The Gnawing Hunger has an impact of 21, a range of 60, a stability of 60, a handling of 67, a reload speed of 73, well, I almost said 76, I mean 73, 600 rounds per minute, and a magazine size of 46. Now time to move on to the perks. Starting off with the BrayTech Werewolf. My BrayTech Werewolf that I have, it has polygonal rifling, flared magwell, mulligan, and I can't find it. And Eye of the Storm. I almost missed out on the last perk right there. Now moving on to the Gnawing Hunger. My Gnawing Hunger has small bore, tactical mag, subsidence, and swashbuckler. Now time to comparing these two weapon stats and perks. Now the BrayTech Werewolf has a higher impact, a higher range, I should probably say, a higher stability, and a higher reload speed. No, it doesn't have a higher reload speed. Or now the Gnawing Hunger has a higher I'm switching between two Google pages if you want to know. To checking stats, I should probably record it, but if you don't know, I'm actually just checking between two YouTube pages and Destiny Tracker. So yeah, so that's where you'll probably hear me oh, I don't know what, can't find the last perk, because I'm scrolling down the whole page to find one perk. So yeah. Anyway, the Gnawing Hunger has a better handling. Yeah, better handling. It has better reload speed. It's got a higher rounds per minute and a higher magazine. Now, where should I start? I think I should just start with ease of use. Both these weapons are quite easy to use, and they're both really good. Now I'm kind of shocked that the BrayTech Werewolf actually has a higher impact, because when I was actually using them, they seem to do around the exact same amount of damage. As much as you guys probably won't believe me, I'm pretty sure the numbers were around the same. I'm pretty sure the BrayTech Werewolf was 29, and as a crit, crit was 29, and the Gnawing Hunger had a crit of 26 or 27, so they're around the same. Now, in terms of ease to use, I think the BrayTech Werewolf is easier to use because it has a slower fire rate, and the Gnawing Hunger is harder to use because it has a higher fire rate. I'd also like to say that the BrayTech Werewolf is easier to use because it's a precision frame, and the Gnawing Hunger is an adaptive frame. Now, you probably don't know, some of you probably don't know what that means, but a precision frame is well, the BrayTech Werewolf has a I can't say precision frame, so the recoil pattern is more vertical. That's basically what it says on the description. So basically, whenever you shoot, the recoil, the gun will go more up than to the sides, or to the, or down. I mean, it shouldn't go down. It's when you shoot a gun, it always goes up. So yeah, so the recoil anyway will just go more up than to the sides. And if you compare that to the Gnawing Hunger's adaptive frame, it's well-rounded and reliable and sturdy, which basically means the recoil can be from anywhere to the sides up. it can be from anywhere to the sides to the vertical, so it's like harder to use. Now, the BrayTech Werewolf, although I say has a better range because, well, I mean, besides it saying it has a better range stat, like, besides the BrayTech Werewolf saying it has a better range stat, I do think it just feels better at long range because of the slow fire rate. The slower fire rate not only makes it like easier to use, it does make it like easier to use at like long range to like hit targets at longer range, even though you shouldn't be really using auto rifles at long range. So yeah, the BrayTech Werewolf does have like really good stability and handling, and BrayTech the Gnawing Hunger. Like, I should be moving on to the Gnawing Hunger soon if you guys. Okay, I should just stop talking and keep like. Stop with like the unnecessary parts and just keep to the weapons. So, like what I said, the stability and handling on the BrayTech Werewolf is like I find really good because of the slow fire rate. Now, the magazine size isn't too big, but like because of the slower fire rate, it also like compensates for that. The reload speed is like, well, it's pretty average. The handling, as I said, is good. The stability is good. The range is good. The impact is pretty good as well. Moving on to the Gnawing Hunger. The Gnawing Hunger has, well, a pretty good has a really good impact, or like, or I should say, like, it does really good damage. The range isn't as far as the BrayTech Werewolf, but like it still does shoot. Like, you can still use it pretty far. Stability and handling feel really good, just like the BrayTech Werewolf. I wouldn't say it's better, but I'd say it's like around the same level. The reload speed is definitely higher, and it definitely shoots faster. Well, if you can't read the numbers, like reload the rounds per minute is 600, and the BrayTech Werewolf has 450 rounds per minute. Now, I will say like this is harder to use at long range. I probably already said that, but I do think the Gnawing Hunger is harder to use at long range, but because of the high fire rate, but I still think it's pretty good. And the magazine is, well, pretty good as well, 46. Now, it's only like 10 higher, or like, no, it's 12 higher than the BrayTech Werewolf, but it does have a higher fire rate. I'm so out of breath right now, because I keep talking and I'm a bit nervous from actually recording this, so like, I'm kind of like spasming everywhere and I slip words, so I should probably take a break for a second. Okay, now I think I should be talking about the perks now. While using these two weapons, I didn't really see, well, I'm gonna be talking about the BrayTech Werewolf first, but like, Mulligan and Eye of the Storm, these two weapons I didn't really see that much. Like, Eye of the Storm I could see, like I could feel, and like I could definitely tell it was working. But Mulligan I couldn't really tell it was working. Mainly because, well, it's Mulligan basically means if you miss a shot, there's a chance that the shot will return back to the magazine, which is useful for like snipers and like slower firing weapons, but it's not useful for like something that's fast firing like an auto rifle. So I didn't really see that as much. After Storm, I definitely like could tell it was working, but the handling didn't feel like that much better. So yeah. And if you wanna know what I'm using, I'm mostly putting on the targeting adjuster for both the weapons, so it has a better like aim assist. Anyway, moving on to the Gnawing Hunger. Now, Subsidence is definitely like a perk I notice, and sometimes after I get a kill I want to reload, but then I realize like I've either got no ammo or like I've just Subsidence is just like giving me all my ammo back. So yeah, I could definitely tell it was working. I could also tell Swashbuckler was working, since whenever you get a kill or like you get a melee kill, it just gives you like increased damage, and I could definitely tell it was working, since well, you'll definitely tell by the numbers that it's been putting out. Now, the BrayTech Werewolf, like, I do like what, like, kind of, like, stat, I don't know, like, I don't know what it's called, but, like, both my weapons are, like, tier 3 of, like, something. I don't remember what tier 3 of like, I know my Gnawing Hunger has a tier 3 like reload speed, like masterwork thing, and like when I don't know what this one is, the one on my BrayTech Werewolf. I'll probably know, but like, but I can't remember right now. That's what I'm just trying to say. Now, when there's like masterwork things that are like at tier 3, like you can't really tell. Like when it gets when it's like fully masterwork, then you can easily tell. Like, well, you can't easily tell, but you can tell what's better. So yeah, now the Gnawing Hunger has a faster time to kill because of the faster fire rate, and like the BrayTech Werewolf, I would say is like anyway, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like the BrayTech Werewolf is like, I'll definitely say is like easier to use, but like has a slower fire. Like it's easy to use, better for newer players, but like it has a slower time to kill. But the Gnawing Hunger has is like more competitive, harder to use, but a higher time to kill. Anyway, that's all I have on these two weapons. So now I'm gonna go into my final verdict. Now, in this final verdict, if you've watched some of my other recent videos that I put out, my final verdict is basically just like finaling off like which one I think is like kind of better, or like, well, like not necessarily like, well, yeah, not necessarily like better. I would like say like what their strengths and weaknesses are. Anyway, I think that's enough talking. Time to actually go into my final verdict. Otherwise, I think this video might get a bit too long. And when I mean too long, I'll probably like 15 minutes. That for me is a long video. Anyway, BrayTech Werewolf, as I previously said, is like I do like its slower fire rate because it gives it like better range and also a higher damage, and it's like really good stability and handling. The reload speed is average, so and I don't really need a high reload speed on a weapon like this, and the magazine is fine. Now because of the slower fire rate, it does have a shorter, probably a longer time to kill. So yeah. Now for the Gnawing Hunger, I like the damage. I like the stability and handling. I do like the range. Like the range isn't as good as the BrayTech Werewolf, but it's still good. It has a high reload speed, which sometimes I think is useful, but most of the time it's not super useful. I do like the really high, like the higher reload, not the reload speed. I do like the higher rounds per minute because it makes killing people easier. Not easier. It makes killing people faster, so it has a shorter time to kill. And the magazine I think is pretty decent. Yeah, so that's been this video. Anyway, if you guys like this really badly explanation I've been doing, or this really bad rant of stutteriness anyway, if you really like this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.